done stole so much shit in my life. I done stole a lot.
Man, when was you stealing, man? Because everybody know you from getting money. When was you stealing? What age this was?
18, 19, right before I started selling dope.
What kind of cars you was stealing?
Anything the body shops ordered. If they ordered it, I went and got it.
Man, you stealing cars at 18. So how you even get in the dope game?
Man, from stealing cars.
Tripping with top, that's the podcast. When we having real conversations that make you laugh. Pull it up on the red cup just to relax. Give me some feedback, like comment, interact. Still true.
You said you regret it,
Hit the button right side, yeah. Go ahead and subscribe. And when you come up on the show, yeah, make sure you fly. I came a long way, barrel so dry. Tripping with Ty.
This is me, man.
Now this the podcast. Baby, when you see the breeze, you know what I'm saying. I hope you understand. We missing for way back in school. You better ask my class.
All right, so what you don't want to talk about?
Ain't nothing I don't want to talk about.
You want to talk about everything?
Whatever you want to talk about. You paying? I'm paying.
I mean, but I always ask people what they don't want to talk about because, you know, some people don't want to talk about certain shit.
I mean, you know, I don't care. We don't talk about the rapper that stole my name. I don't care. But I will talk about him. If you bring it up, I'm going to talk. But, you know.
All right, we're going to bring that motherfucker. How you feel about that then? Because I seen an interview when you first got out and they had asked you that.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, things done change, you know.
Yeah. He ain't never reach out to you?
I respect the game, right?
Yeah.
You know, I used to steal cars. So I understand that sometimes you get desperate, you know, you in desperate needs and you'll do whatever to make you some money.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I look at it. I ain't mad at it because
it is what it is. I
done stole so much shit in my life. I done stole a lot.
Man, when was you stealing, man? Because everybody know you from getting money. When was you stealing? What age this was?
18, 19, right before I started selling dope.
What kind of cars you was stealing?
Anything the body shops ordered. If they ordered it, I went and got it.
Man, you stealing cars at 18. So how you even get in the dope game?
Man, from stealing cars.
Like, okay, so how did it even go hand in hand? How did get the introduced?
Well, you know, here I am. First, I was playing tennis, right? So
you playing tennis?
Yeah, I was a square, man.
You was a tennis motherfucker?
Tennis motherfucker, right? And then they told me I wasn't gonna go to college, and I've been putting all my eggs in one basket. You know, tennis is my way out the ghetto.
Okay.
You know, I ain't like I ain't leaving the ghetto. I'm gonna stay in the ghetto. I like the ghetto, but then I was like, man, I want to get out the ghetto. I don't want to have nothing to do with the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up there. That's it. So, I was doing whatever it took. You know, still, I ain't never robbed nobody. You know, never. I couldn't see myself putting a gun in nobody's head and, you know, and telling them to get their money up. But shit, still in the car, I'd be like, shit, they got insurance anyway. The insurance company gonna pay for it.
So what, you were hot wired when you got in there?
No, we used a snatch bar. I hooked up with these dudes, man. My boys took me right when I stopped playing tennis. My boys took me to a street race. Yeah. You know, where they got all the cars and the lowriders and all these guys with these lowriders got these pretty girls and I was like, shit, I want me one of them.
You want the lowrider?
No, the girl too.
Oh, you want the
I want the whole package. Yeah. Give me the whole package, right?
Okay.
So, shit, I started hanging out with the dudes that was low riding.
Yeah.
Like, man, how y'all get all this money? How y'all fix these cars up like this? Stealing cars.
Damn.
That was the hustle. When I was coming up, that was our hustle. Wasn't no rap.
Stealing cars.
You know, wasn't no dope. You know, it was stealing cars. So I jumped in with a car ring, Jumping Jake and Dirty Benny. And shit, I studied hard. You know, I wanted to be like them.
Okay, so how many cars you steal in a week?
Man, no telling.
Was it over like 10?
Oh yeah, for sure.
For real?
When I got caught, I had like 12 cars in my body shop. At 18, I had my own body shop.
For real?
Yeah, I had my own body shop. It was really a cut-up shop though.
Yeah.
You know, we
yeah.
we make believe like we was doing body work, but we was
Yeah.
really cutting cars up.
Damn, you were hustling for real.
And the police raided us. Cause what I did, right? I don't know. What I've been able to do is copy people. Like I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if you let me around, I'm gonna see what you're doing. I'm gonna copy it.
But you gonna do it to you gonna get it bigger. Like you gonna do it bigger than that.
Yeah, that's the goal always.
Yeah.
You know, but you know when you start, you know, one of the things I learned, and most people can't do this right. When you start off and you're making your first cake,
Yeah.
you follow the instructions to the T.
Okay.
You try to be just like the instructor tell you, and if you do it like that, you're gonna get the same cake.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you go on a little bit and you say, "Oh, I got it down now," they missing this here ingredient, and you start adding your little ingredients. So that's usually how I do with everything I do. You know, I found out that is one of my traits is that I'm able to follow instructions really well, and after I think I know what I'm doing, then I start to add my own ingredients. Sometimes I add the shit and it don't work.
Yeah. I mean, it be like that sometimes.
Yeah. So, but that's really how I work. But yeah, I was stealing cars. So, you know, when you talk about him stealing my name, I ain't mad at him at all.
Yeah.
You know, I know he think I'm mad at him, and every now and then I crack a joke about him. You know, like the other day it went viral. One of my little boxers, Riley Bourne, we was at the tank fight, right?
Yeah.
So I'm signing autographs, just kicking like I do with my books, and me and him in the middle of the hallway. We in the middle of the hallway at the big fight, and I'm signing autographs. I ain't watching the fight.
Yeah.
I'm selling books, and this reporter was interviewing my boxer, and he was like, "Oh, there go my manager Rick right there," and so dude was, "Oh, Ricky Rose," and I was like, "Rose, that shit sound gay." not cracking it. I wasn't really cracking it. I wasn't really honest. I wasn't really shooting at him, right? But he took it as if I was.
But you know the internet, man, the internet, man, it'll switch your shit around, man, make you mean something you ain't mean.
Yeah, you gotta watch what you say. But I don't care, you know.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You know, I do my own thing, and don't nobody pay my bills. I pay my own bills.
Yeah.
So.
But either way it go, like at the end of the day, if like you solid and you already know what's going on, you ain't finna take no offense to that. Like I wouldn't take no offense to that if I stole your name. Like, man, it is what it is. But some people.
Well, see, you probably would have been like, "Man, come on, let's do some stuff together. Let's get some money together. I love you. You know, I got your name. Look, I got your name tattooed on my hands." And,
I would.
And
if I went this far with it, we might as well get some money together.
Might as well.
That's what it is. Like, but some people don't be like that though.
No.
I mean, but it is what it is.
So that's pretty much the gist of that. I don't have no ill will behind this dude.
Yeah.
And we'll work with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't letting nothing get in the way of my money. I might not. You know. Man, I read some books and they said, man, these wars that we having, it be somebody working for both sides. Hey, I'm gonna get you guns. I'm gonna get you guns. And
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no problem with nobody, man.
Yeah.
I just want to get my money.
And that's the best way to be, man. Get your money, stay out the way.
Yes.
Nobody got time for no drama, man.
No drama for dummies.
And them young ones, they love drama. But once you get to a certain stage and a certain age, man, you ain't trying to look for no drama, man.
No, not at all.
You get that drama over there.
That's why I trip off these rappers, man. They get some money and then they want to turn into gangsters.
But the crazy thing about it, man, most people that rap now, they never came from there. Everybody gangsters. Everybody had to do this. I'm like, man, everybody ain't living the same life.
No.
Everybody ain't living the same life. I think it's just like an image thing. I think people want to be seen as that.
Well, you know, our people, we put a lot of emphasis on gangsters. You know, we really do admire gangsters. You know,
they glorify this
Scarface.
Shit.
You know, you go in everybody's house, they almost got a Scarface picture hanging up in there. So, you know, gangsterism is really glamorized in the society, even though they may not admit it. You know, mainstream won't admit that, but man, I met with some powerful people. You know, from Ori Emanuel, Jeff Burr, Spencer Boomer, people who run entertainment and they all admire gangsters. You know, and a few of them even said that they tried to sell cocaine.
They tried to.
Tried to, yeah, they didn't do
But
it.
everybody can't do that shit, man. That shit might seem easy or some shit like that, but that shit ain't easy.
I don't know. It seemed easy to me though.
I mean, it might be easy to you, but you mastered it though.
Yeah,
You mastered it.
Yeah.
Was it? It wasn't easy at the beginning, was it?
No, it was tough in the beginning. You have to learn. I mean, I look at like anything that you want to do,
Yeah.
and you want to be good at it. You got to learn it. You got to study it. And that's what I do. I try to study everything I do. I try to study.
Yeah.
I don't try to just go out and figure that shit out on my own. I don't mind getting help.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't like help though.
Some people think help is a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
I think so. They don't want to swallow their pride and ask somebody for help. But like you just said, you'll ask for help or you'll take help. I'm the same way. I'll take help. If I know you know more about it than me, I'll ask you. Hey, man, how I do this, because it might be something I know more about than you. And you come to me and I'll be like, okay, this how you do this, how you do this, how you do this.
We share a game.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can eat at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody can eat at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of money out here.
Yeah.
Plenty of money.
Fuck yeah. But them black motherfuckers don't work together.
No.
They don't work together, man. Everybody gotta be shining. Everybody gotta do this, gotta do that.
Well, we gotta outshine each other. I gotta make you look bad in order to make me big.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. I don't even mind being in the background. I don't mind.
I love being in the background.
I don't mind not being seen. Just give me the money.
I love it.
Make sure I got all the money. You go out front, I'll keep the money.
Yeah. As long as I got that money, I don't care about being in that camera, being in the front, people knowing me. Because once you get to that level of fame, like you can't unfame fame. Like once you big, you can't go back. You can't go back. I don't even wanna I like going to Walmart and shit. I don't like going to
I do that anyway.
They don't be saying that to you at Walmart?
They do, but I don't care. They speak to me. Women come up, hug me, kiss me on the jaw. I be like, oh, girl, you better stop it.
Oh, man.
Starting and you can't finish.
Man.
No, I love the way people treat me.
Okay.
I'm not one of those that think the crowd is going beat me up or break me down or just overwhelm me. They don't treat me like that though.
They don't.
Nah, they'll come up, and say hi and shake my hand, take a picture, give me a kiss on the cheek. The guys will tell me.
So who the fuck be kissing you on the cheek? Everybody just be kissing you on the cheek.
A lot of the women, they want to hug you and kiss you. And
what, they ugly? You let them kiss you?
Yeah, I let them kiss me too.
How you wipe it off?
No.
You let that motherfucker? You let it stay?
Yeah.
For how long?
Because they might buy my book, my T-shirts, come to my speaking engagements.
Man.
And plus, what Richard Pryor said. He said, you find an ugly woman, bring her to him, and he going to give you a second opinion. So you find an ugly woman. You find an ugly woman, bring her to me, I'm going to look at her and I'll let you know if she ugly or not.
But still, though, man, you can't be letting them kiss on you in public and stuff, man. They probably going to think y'all together or something.
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
I don't know, but, man, people know you, and I guess that's a form of showing that they love you and like love what you do and what you did.
They do. They love. And they say not loving me from my past, totally, but from my past and my transformation. How I took my past and I've been able to make it work for me.
Yeah, and I would say that's what I glorify the most. After you got out. You wrote the books. Man, you working out. You there telling me, bro, you work out. You finna work out tonight. Like, bro, that's a lot of working out.
Play tennis.
Yeah, you still playing tennis?
With my kids, just with my kids.
Okay. They like tennis?
No, they don't like it. But you know what I tell them? I say, look, most people don't like their job.
You damn sure right about that.
If you go to a job and you can make $5 million, $10 million, you might not like it, but you're going to be happy with it.
Yeah, of course.
So look at tennis as a job. This is something that I got to do. So I might as well go. And I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Because they are good at it. My kids been playing since they was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Yeah.
So they can really hit that ball.
That's what's up.
And tennis is really all I had to offer them. I didn't really have much else to give them. you know, I never had a job before in my life. Didn't graduate from high school. You know.
I didn't know you didn't graduate.
No, I didn't graduate, man. I shouldn't have been in the 12th grade. You know, I couldn't read or write.
For real?
No.
So what year you dropped out? What year of school?
I went to the 12th, but I was only there to play tennis. I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to school. You know what I'm saying?
So
I wasn't
you just
going there to
showing up to
learn. I
tennis.
was just showing up. You know.
Okay.
I'm present. You know, for the teacher.
Okay, so your 12th grade year, walk me through a day of your 12th grade year, because you just playing tennis. So what you doing in your meantime?
I go to class.
Oh, you going to class?
I don't do no work.
You ain't doing no work?
No, I ain't doing no work.
Damn.
I can't read or write.
I mean, but still, though, like,
So how I'm going to do some work?
You could have asked for help. You could have cheated on somebody or
I know,
something.
I cheat when I need to. You know, they say, oh, you need a C on this one here to pass, so
Yeah.
you'll be eligible for tennis. I get it.
Yeah, but still, though, man, you could have
Do a
cheated.
little extra curriculum, you know.
Yeah.
I did that, but no, I wasn't in the school, man. I didn't care about Christopher Columbus.
No, I don't give a fuck about Christopher Columbus either.
That's what they was teaching in school.
That shit be boring, though.
That's why I didn't care about it.
That shit be boring. That shit be boring as shit. But
I wish I would have studied science more, though. You
why?
know? Shit, I would have knew how to work a triple beam when I started.
Science is a motherfucker. Science is a motherfucker.
Yeah. No, science, we need science. Science and math. I believe that's all we really need to be teaching our kids is
Science and math?
Yeah, because if you understand math, you know, you can calculate stuff, you know, whatever it is, you know, the distance that you got to travel, your money.
Yeah.
And, you know, the art of science, you know, science is to be able to study something, to break it down and figure out what its functions are.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, you can break down any business. You could break down a car. You know, you could break down these microphones. So being able to do those type of things,
That's really all you need.
will bring you money.
I would say even when you go to college, man, if you're a business major, they don't teach you how to run your own business. They teach you how to run somebody else's business.
Oh yeah, the school teach you to be a worker.
Yeah. And you weren't never no fucking worker, so I see why you ain't go to school.
When I was in the pen, I worked on the yard.
Where you worked at?
On the yard. My boy was the
You
head.
worked on the compound?
Yeah, on the compound. My boy was the head of the yard. So
what, you picking up trash and shit?
I did work on the trash crew at Victorville. You know, we walk around, and I did
Yeah.
that because you only do one round. You know, so many people working on the same job. We make one round, pick up all the trash bags from the units, and we get to go to early child, and you know, we got benefits. So I was doing that, and then the rest of the time, really, I just worked on the yard where all I did was play tennis, basketball, on the way.
They had tennis they had a tennis court?
Yeah, we had tennis courts. I made them take the tennis courts out of Victorville. I was teaching everybody how to play. And one day,
They got mad.
this new warden came, and he saw us out there. We was having a picnic on the tennis court. We had the jugs with the juice and the chips.
Yeah. Oh, y'all had it laid out.
Yeah, we was
Y'all
out
had
there
it laid
kicking
out.
back, man, with our shirts off. We just got off the weight pile.
Oh yeah, y'all were chilling for real. He ain't like that.
He didn't like that. No, he's like, man, get rid of these tennis courts. Take these nets down.
I'll say now they got the little racquetball.
You know, I used to charge to teach you tennis. It was
For real?
$25. Yeah.
So was that your hustle in
It was
prison?
one of my hustles.
Yeah.
I ran a store too.
Okay, you had a store.
Yeah, I ran a store, and I was the cold soda man. You know, on hot days, I would have cold sodas in a bucket.
Okay.
And I'd be
But you got the bucket full of ice?
Ice cold.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hustles in prison though. It's a lot of hustles in prison. But man, you had some hustle. You've been hustling all your life.
I love hustling.
Stealing cars to the drug game, even in prison. You say you got
Music.
the ice cold drain. You got the
Messing with
music.
music. Yeah, I done mess with music a few
But
times.
you wasn't singing. So you was the artist?
No. I didn't ever really want to be in front. I never really wanted
I was like, 'cause you can't sing in there, can you?
I probably could.
No, I don't
I
think
sang
so.
to my girl.
Oh man, she gonna get up and leave.
No, you gotta be real special to hear me sing though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
If I sung, they had to pay me so much. I'd be like, you don't want to hear me sing. It costs too much money.
How
No,
much it costs for you to sing right now?
No, man, probably about 150,000. Yeah. That's what
I ain't know. I don't want to hear it that bad. I don't want to hear it that bad.
Yeah, but I've been hustling, man. I used to hustle bottles and cans when I was cut yards, get all the fellas in the neighborhood. We do car washes. And I always been able to organize, too. You know.
So how was your living environment like coming up?
We were poor. My mom we was on welfare. We got food stamps.
So, how many, you got siblings?
Yeah, I got a brother and a sister, and I got two adopted brothers and adopted sister that my mom adopted.
Really?
They really my cousins, but they were closer to me than my brothers and sisters.
Your cousins were closer to you than your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, because they was more my age, and we did more stuff together. You know, like they were my soldiers.
Okay.
You know, you fall in love with your soldiers.
Okay, yeah. So with your cousins, your soldiers, when you started being in the drug gang, they was with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
Most of my family was with me.
Who? Okay, so how many family members you didn't have with you? There was like, nah.
It was a few, you know. But even with them, you know, I would stash money at their house.
Yeah.
Stash
so they
drugs,
was the
stash drugs at their house. You know, stuff like that there. So so they still kind of was involved. Not out actually selling drugs, but you know, involved.
Yeah, they played their part.
Yeah, they played a small part.
Yeah.
Because then if they find out that they stashing drugs at their house, they're gonna put them in jail too.
Yeah. So how was when your mama found out you was selling drugs?
Well, the first time she found out something, she found like 100,000. I think when I just got to 100,000, and she found it in my closet, and she started crying like, "Can you get out? You need to quit now."
Yeah. You had 100,000 in the closet?
Yeah, this was like 82 maybe.
How long it took you to get to 100,000?
I don't know, years, maybe a year, 2 years. Took a minute. It took a minute. You know, when I started, I was only making like some weeks only $20, $30.
Really?
Yeah, but I was broke.
What you mean broke? You talking about why you selling? You was broke?
No, before I started selling.
Yeah.
See what happened? I got caught stealing cars.
Okay.
They raided my shop, and they found 7 stolen cars. So all my little money I was paying lawyers, and I had to bail out of jail. And now I ain't hustling no more. I ain't stealing cars, so ain't no money coming in.
Yeah.
You know how we do, black folks. We fuck all our money off.
Yeah.
You know, I'm building this low rider. I'm chroming all up under the bottom of it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And when I got caught, I was broke.
So I'm still trying to see how you got introduced. Because you was stealing cars. They got fucked up. I'm trying to... How did you even get into the...
Well, I'm hearing about cocaine.
Yeah,
in the streets.
Okay.
You're hearing about cocaine. All the pimps are smoking cocaine. They talking about it. But I never saw cocaine.
Yeah.
And but I'm interested. I'm really interested because I went and saw the movie Superfly. My man looked real good. He looked real good with that cocaine.
Okay, so now you really interested in it.
I'm fired up. And I'm hearing the pimps talk about it too.
Yeah.
So my boy called me one day and was like, "Man, come out of the crib. I got something new." And when I got over there, he laid it on the table. It was cocaine.
How much?
He wasn't buying that much. He was small time, maybe like 3 or 4 grams, maybe 7 grams max.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't nothing. But, to us, he was a big shot.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you figure, a gram was worth like $350.
Damn.
Maybe $400.
Damn.
For a gram of cocaine. So, to us, and to a dude like me, I didn't even have gas money to get to his house. We went and stole some gas to get to his house.
Let's stole some gas?
Yeah, and that's when gas was like 25 cents a gallon.
Damn.
We couldn't even buy gas.
So by you seeing this coke, your partner showed up with coke or whatever. So you probably thinking like this really your way out for real.
Oh,
like
man.
After you seen it.
Yeah, at first I didn't believe him though.
You didn't?
Nah, he was talking about. You ever seen a match head? Because you a young boy. You never seen a match that you scratch on the thing and it light up? Like
Yeah.
So he showed me something about the size of the match head, and he told me it was worth $50.
The size of a match head was worth $50.
Yeah.
The size of the match head?
Yeah, a match head. You know what a match head is? Yeah, a match
That's
head.
small as shit, though.
Small as shit. I said, man, the police will never catch me with this. It was
How
that
could
small. How could they? They couldn't. And I'm going to run, too. You know, I was fast then.
Yeah, you were fast then. You was playing tennis and all type of shit.
Yeah, I was in great shape. And I was young. I was only 19 years old.
But with that small, though, how would they even... They ain't finna find it.
They ain't finna find it. That's what I was saying. So I'm like, they'll never find this. I could do this. So when me and my boy left, Ollie, we was driving his 64 Chevy. He had a 64 Chevy, you know, hit in the back.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody hit it, sold it to him cheap. So we was driving that, and I told him, I was like, man, if what he's saying is true, I'm finna be rich.
So when did you find out it was true?
My first one, I got beat out of the first one he gave me.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the pimps beat me out of it. But that led to my first sale. My first real sale. I didn't know it was a sale right at that time because I don't know about sales.
Yeah.
I don't know about none of that stuff. I'm young boy, don't watch the news, didn't go to school, never read a book, never read the newspaper. I don't know what's... I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand sales a little bit, right? Because I used to steal batteries. You know, we steal a car, I take the battery and sell it to the battery man. So I understand a little bit about sales, but I'm not really understanding sales. But that was my first sale. Even though he didn't pay me for it, he came back later on that day, and he brought a guy named Mouse to me. And Mouse spent $100.
Okay.
So I middleman that deal. When they came by, I called my guy, who I was telling you about, who called me over. So I called him, Mike, and I was like, man, I ain't got your $50.
Yeah.
But I got somebody who want to spend $100. You want it? And I was straight up with him, you know. I told him what happened. So he came over, made the sale, and then it just started to roll from there. You know, Miles would come by, or sometime Martin would come by, and then they would bring their hoes by sometimes. So then the hoes would see me, and when they was gone off the track somewhere else, the hoe would slip over there and spend some money, you know, and then she would bring her girlfriend with her, and her girlfriend would say, I'm going to come back by myself, and then she would come back, and then she'd bring her girlfriend.
So now it's just...
And now next thing you know, all the hoes on the block is everybody on Figure Road buying coke from me, and now the gangbangers are starting to buy, and then the welfare women, they see the pimps, the hoes, and the gangbangers. Like, I'm gonna invest my welfare check. You know, they start telling me like that. I'm gonna invest my welfare check. When I get my check next month, I'm gonna invest with you.
So how the fuck that go? You let them invest with you?
Of course, I let everybody invest. I want to see everybody with some money.
Yeah.
You see my documentary?
Yeah. That's what's up.
When you see what Merlin said he let everybody in.
That's what's up.
Because I understood multiplication.
Yeah.
I understood that if I had 100 people buying from me, I could take less money and make more. I could take less money but make more money.
Yeah. That makes sense. Make perfect sense.
Yeah.
I don't think people look at it like that now.
No, they don't.
They don't look at it like that now.
They don't understand the game.
They just want to be in the streets.
Yeah.
They just want to be in the streets.
That's how I'm able to wiggle in this weed business.
Be damn sure can.
Same principles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take less, make more.
So when did you buy your first brick?
I can't remember. See, I bought pounds for a long time. My supplier was working me with them pounds.
Yeah.
I was paying $30,000 for a pound, maybe $32 for a pound at one time. You know,
For a pound?
a pound is only 16 ounces. So they was getting the extra 4 ounces out of the kilo. They was keeping them. And I did that, man. I did that for a long time. It took a while. I didn't really start getting kilos until I started going to Miami because I didn't really know what a kilo was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that they supposed to count them in kilos.
Yeah, so I would say you were buying them in pounds?
Yeah, they was hitting me with pounds. I was buying 30 pounds, 40 pounds at a time.
Bro, you can't move that all by yourself.
Oh, no, I didn't try to.
Yeah, you can't move it all that by
I
yourself.
don't want to move by myself. Just I know they can't smoke all that by themselves. Ain't no one person gonna smoke all that. We gonna spread.
No.
We spreading that wealth, you know.
Man, if I had 30 pounds of coke, man, I'd be so fucking paranoid. I'd be paranoid, man. I'd be watching. I'm thinking everybody doing, looking.
Well, you get used to it though. You get used to having to wait. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I got my first 8-track, I was doing that. They watching us. Yeah. Who was that in that car? But then once you do it a couple times, you be, oh, 8 ain't nothing.
But you don't want to get too comfortable though. You
can't help it. You can't help it. It's just human nature. You get comfortable. That's how they get caught.
Think so? You just get comfortable like that? I don't know, man.
Yeah, they get comfortable. They start doing stuff they wouldn't do at first. Talking on the phone. You know.
The phone's a motherfucker though.
Bringing people in that they know gonna tell.
I mean, you don't know everybody gonna tell you.
Nah, I mean, I don't know who gonna tell, but somebody in your crew gonna tell.
Think so? Always.
Absolutely, absolutely. When they go to talk about 40 years in prison, most people don't want to do no 40 years.
Nah, they can't drop everything and go do a 40 piece right then.
Nah.
So they gonna tell it. But yeah, man, you picking up 30 pounds at a time, man. That's some weight.
Man, I was picking up 200 and some pounds sometimes. In the end, when I started peaking.
Yeah. That's some weight though. But
and wanted more.
Man, you can't move no more than that, man.
Shit, I wanted more, man. That wasn't enough.
So with the 200 pounds, how much you was making in a week with the 200 pounds?
Well, it changed, right? At one time, I was making $12,000 a kilo. But I wasn't moving, I wasn't moving it like that.
Yeah.
I probably was doing 70 kilos a day.
So it depends on how much a kilo is at the time.
Yeah, it do. Because the kilo started dropping. And like I said, I would make less, but I made more.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So no, some days I would make, at the peak, $1 million a day. So on $1 million, I probably would make $2,000 a kilo. So, my profit would be like $200,000.
Profit is $200,000 a day.
Mm-hmm. But now there was days I would do $3 million in one day. So that's 300 kilos. So you make 2 on that. That's another number.
How can you even keep up with all that money in a day?
Well, you got girls who count money machines.
How many girls you had to count?
3.
How many houses you had to set up for this?
Oh no, I had quite a few houses. Probably about 20, 30 houses.
How the fuck can you? Cause you got how many stash houses you got?
I didn't use stash houses. I used stash cars. I had so many cars it wasn't even funny.
You used stash cars.
Yeah, I mean, it was times, right? I'd be riding down the street and I look up, that's my car right there.
So
we've been unparked and they left it. And it done been times that we do the car like that and we pull over and it got dope in it.
For real?
We done forgot.
Dude,
because when you got a big operation, and then you got like, I think we might have had like 30, 50 of us,
That's a lot of people to keep up with. You can't keep up with all them people.
I didn't. I had help. I had help keeping up with them.
30, 50
I just
people?
keep up with the main ones, and then they keep up with the ones under them.
So what you put, like, everybody, like, on the designated block? Like, okay, you over here.
Well, houses. Over here. We use houses. We didn't use blocks.
Y'all use houses. But you got how many houses? Like 20 houses?
But I didn't sell that all of them at the same time. No, you don't do that. Because we go 24/7. We don't close. This is an all-night thing. They want their dope all night. Ain't no shutting no doors. Ain't no cutting the lights out. No, they ain't having that. Somebody gonna be up serving.
Somebody up serving at all times.
Otherwise, you're gonna have a problem.
Oh, y'all was working.
Oh yeah,
y'all was working.
It was a job. 18-hour days. I do 18-hour days all the time.
So in them 18 hours, what you doing in them 18 hours? Because you got a lot of people.
Well, we get up in the morning around 7, so we would all meet at a restaurant, have breakfast.
Okay.
After we have our meeting, then we start taking customers. Customers will come to the restaurant and they put their orders in, what they want. So when I tell them,
hold on, with these customers, these ain't no junkies.
Oh no, these are guys that spend like $200,000, $300,000 at a time.
Okay, all right.
So I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, customers will come to the restaurant and they put their orders in, what they want. So when I tell them, okay, take the customers. So I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take the money over there, and then we start taking customers. So when I tell them, okay, take the money over to, we know what they want. Mm-hmm. Take we'd already done cooked the dope that night.
Okay.
Or that morning. You know, we used to cook about 2, 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, we wrapping up just before daybreak.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, we figured the police, that's the time the police started raiding, like early in the morning, catch you sleep.
Yeah.
So what we would do is we would cook during that time and be finished by 5 in the morning. We done.
Okay.
So we met at the restaurant. Everybody put their orders in, and we go back, bag everything up, put it in a van. And I had some young dudes that worked for me, and I put them in the van, and cars would drive up. They jump out the van, throw the bag in their car with their name on it. They drive off, and we'd probably be doing that about 15 minutes, and we'd be done for the day. Then after that, I go play basketball, go to tennis courts with my older kids.
Dang, you had it all planned. But you wasn't cooking though, was you?
Yeah, I cook.
You wasn't cook, bro. You had too many people working for you. Why you still cooking?
Cause sometimes they'll fuck up, and then cooking was the hardest part. Because the way we cook, right, we would get these apartment buildings and be upstairs because they had what they call the bat-around,
Mm-hmm.
and they would bust the door down. So what we would do is we would go upstairs and do it because the bat-around couldn't get upstairs.
Yeah.
So we would bar the whole house up, all the windows, you know, so they can't throw stuff through the windows. You know, police were throwing stuff through the windows. So on the outside, it looked like just a normal house, but we would have curtains, and then we'd have a metal shield behind the curtain that they couldn't see. So in these houses, it would be hot, you know, it'd be steaming hot. 'Cause we got these big industrial stoves, and we got these big tall pots that we cooking like that. We cooking the dope in, so it'd be hot in there, and you know, dudes don't like to work.
Have you ever been in the kitchen in the federal prison? You been in the kitchen before? You seen them pots?
Yeah.
Was
Like
they that
those.
size?
Like those.
Or big or small? Those some big ass pots.
That's what we used.
Like you can put a body in them pots.
That's what we used. Because cooking became the hardest part.
How was cooking? Oh no, y'all cooking crack, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, they called it crack. We didn't call it crack. We called it Ready Rock.
Okay, but
The feds call it crack.
yo,
That's a legal term for it.
yeah, it is. Yeah, they use that shit now. But y'all cooking all this, you must got used to that smell.
Yeah, you know, you get high.
I would say that smell. A
No, you get high from doing it because the fumes is coming
Yeah.
up. You know, you cooking, and the fumes is like all over the house. I mean, we even put industrial fans in there to blow it out, and then eventually we started using a mask because we found out like when we finished cooking, nobody can go to sleep.
Nobody could go to sleep. Everybody high.
Everybody high. And then people start getting dirties. You know, people who was doing UA tests was getting dirties. I didn't ever go to jail, so I never had the test. But yeah, we started getting masks, you know, so that we wouldn't breathe it in. But I imagine it still went through our pores and everything else.
I don't say, man, I just know that smell, man. That smell, bro. I smell that shit before, bro. That smell
like piss.
It's terrible. But you know that smell, though. It's like a distinct smell. Like, you know this. You know this crap.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know this. You know this what it is. But
They used to like the one, though, that just kind of smell like piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love
It's
that.
like a little loud little smell. It's like a... But the time I smelled it, you didn't smell it outside the house. You smell it when you go in. So it was like I don't know. Yeah. But I know what the pots y'all using. Ain't no telling who the fuck smelled it. For real. Because that's big. Because y'all cooking up, what you saying, like 300, 200?
Yeah, but see, it's late at night. Everybody sleep.
Yeah, but the dough keep going now. The trap it's open.
It don't last long.
It don't last long?
Nah, the smell go away fast.
Okay, so y'all finding out y'all get high now, but y'all start wearing the mask.
Yeah, we started wearing the mask. Because dudes was getting dirty UAs.
Yeah.
And didn't know how. Like, I don't smoke dope. You know?
Yeah.
We looking at them crazy. Like, motherfucker. You
sure?
sure?
Like, bitch, you using?
Because you know, they don't tell when they getting high. They be keeping that quiet.
But you kind of can tell after so long. You can tell after so long.
Yeah, it take a while, though. But, you know, you want to know immediately. You want to know who's smoking immediately. Yeah, but you want to know.
Yeah, you want to know, yeah. So, at this time, you making all this money. What you buying with all this money?
Houses.
For the
businesses. I was trying to get out the game. You know, I was trying to do like Superfly, get out.
What you was going to invest in?
Everything. I had tire shops. phone store, tennis shoe store, beauty salon, junkyard, body shop, tow trucks.
You had all this shit, and you still couldn't get out. Nah, you didn't want to get out.
Motels.
You had a motel.
I was trying everything to get out the game, but it was just wasn't turning.
But you gotta think about it. When you get all them businesses, man, you trying to juggle everything. Everything ain't finna get your attention.
And they always was draining too. You know, like they drain the money.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta, because the people I put in charge, you know, they wasn't really doing it to make the business work. They was doing it to get money from me. So the business wasn't gonna work.
But you had a lot of fucking businesses though.
Yeah.
You could like all them businesses.
I had a good life.
Some could have worked.
I done had fun in my life, man.
Some could have worked. So okay,
I couldn't complain.
Yeah. So you was in the how long you was in the drug game? How many years?
8 years.
You was in the 8 years. And the feds come pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
How the feds come pick you up? You was at home.
Who was I when they got me? Well, the first time I was pouring concrete at one of my apartment buildings. We had I had this 12-unit apartment building, and in the center it had like a big dirt pile, and on this dirt pile the kids would go out there and play, and then they come in the house with all that dirt on their feet and mess the carpet up.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna put some concrete there to stop
the dirt.
Yeah. So when we over there pouring the concrete, and then I had one of my little lookouts with me. You know, I had my little guys, and they be posted.
Yeah.
And they came and it's like, man, the narcs just passed by and they was looking over this way, and I was like, don't worry about it. I knew I was on the run, but I'd been on the run for about a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
I said, don't worry about it. They don't know I'm over here. So, about 20 minutes later, we heard a loud screech, and I look out the door, and it was narcs jumping out the car, running toward my way. So I took off running the opposite direction, jumped over the back fence. And there was narcs back there, and they was laying down. They just started shooting at me. Bang, 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 bang.
They shooting at you?
They shooting at me, yeah. So I jumped another fence and ran about 3 houses down, and I'm running in between houses and cars. Another one shot at me, and it hit a mirror. The glass splashed in my face, and I thought I was shot. So then I'm kind of like delirious for a few minutes, you know, because you know, you think you hit. You don't know if you hit or not because this glass hit you, so you don't really know. So I saw a door open, so I ran up in the door and locked the door. And there was a dude in there, and he came out. Man, what you doing in my house? I said, man, the police trying to kill me. That's them shooting at me. And then he knew who I was. So he said, you got some money?
First thing.
So I had about $1,000 in my pocket. I gave it to him. I said, man, you better. He told me, man, I'm on parole. I said, man, you better leave out. So he left out the house. I thought he locked the door back, but he left the door open. It didn't matter. They was gonna get me anyway. They had the helicopter. They had dogs, everything. The whole house was surrounded. So they took me down. They took me down on that one. Beat me in the head with flashlights. Let the dog bite me while I was handcuffed. Really, really dirty dudes.
Yeah.
Dudes don't need to be police officers. They're the worst. These were the worst police officers that there is. You know.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a police officer that lie, you know, on the witness stand and forge search warrants and plant drugs, they planted drugs on me as well. But that's how I got my first arrest.
That's some dirty motherfuckers there, boy.
Yeah. Then the next time, my supplier set me up. You know,
the supplier set you up?
Yeah, he called me and asked me to do a 700. Say he had 700 kilos and wanted me to introduce him to somebody. So I hooked him up with one of my little homies, Chico Brown, and it was a setup from the get-go. They had been recording all of the conversations and everything. So.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Your supplier?
Yeah.
Damn, I ain't know your supplier set you up.
Yeah, they let them do that. They let them set you up. They can come from the top or the bottom. Or the middle.
But why you, though? Why do you think they targeted you?
I was high profile. You know, I was somebody. I've been on national TV, you know, right after Monday Night Football on a show called Day One. And I was trying to build this theater was a youth center, you know, what I thought would help kids from getting in the drug business. And I don't know. These are some lousy cops, man. You know, we got lousy cops too.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
we got cops that need to be in jail.
I can tell. Because around about
Fact.
this time, what did yeah, that's
A
facts.
fact.
Around about this time, when all this happened, this like 90 something, 80.
89, 88.
Oh, they was real fucked up then.
Yeah, they was real bad. They was running rampant.
Yeah, they real fucked up then. Damn, they getting on the they playing shit on you. Yeah, that's
Well, I got them investigated.
Yeah.
I had got the cops investigated and someone went to jail. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, see, I ain't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and 150 people got out of prison that they lied on the witness stand because once
150.
Once they lost their credibility, then all the cases that they had prosecuted was able to now come forward and get their cases reversed.
I'll say they went back on it and
Right. He said, I told y'all he lied on me too.
150.
Because, you know, it was hard to say cops lied on you at one time.
Yeah.
They wouldn't believe.
How many on?
I mean, one.
No, not the police. I was talking about out there 150.
Probably all of them.
Damn, for real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just, these cops just work the black neighborhoods.
Okay.
Yeah, they just worked the black neighborhood. But they was considered probably the most elite task force in the country. I'm glad they was crooked, though, because if they wasn't, I probably would have never got out of prison. Because if they'd have used their testimony.
Yeah.
But they was lazy, too. They didn't really want to investigate. They didn't, you know, it would have took some investigation, but they didn't want to do that. You know, sit out there all night and all day.
Yeah.
You know, tear you around and all that. They didn't want to do the work.
Damn, so, fuck. I ain't know they were dirty like that now.
Yeah, you can go read about it. You heard about Rampart?
Yeah, I done heard about it.
Where Rampart was an offshoot from the Freeway Task Force. The task force was named after me.
Freeway Task Force.
It's called the Freeway Task Force.
You not big, you gotta be to name a task force after you, man. Do you think you was as big as you was?
I didn't. I didn't. You know, I didn't. And I didn't know what big was. You know, I was just trying to sell as much dope as I could.
Shit, you were doing that. You were doing that.
No, I could have sold more.
Bro, you can't go no, man. No.
I could have sold more dope if I would have had it.
At what point you was gonna be like, if you would have never got jammed though? At what point you would have been like, okay,
I quit before I got jammed. I quit. I was trying to get out, but I needed to reach a number. You know what I'm saying? I needed to. My goal was I wanted to be bringing in like $200,000 in legal business every month.
That's hard. 200,000 in a legal business a month.
Yeah, but I felt with the money I was making that I should have been able to take that money and invest it and do that. And I figured out some ways, but I was already gonna be indicted when I figured out how to actually do that.
Yeah. Okay. So at this time, you went to prison. How was the prison life?
Fucked up. They give you fucked up food.
Cause you went to prison in the what 90s, 80s, 90s.
89. You know, the food was fucked up. The federal prison, though, when I got to federal prison now, that's a different story. That was like Club Fed back then. They were still eating lobsters and shrimps.
Man, ain't no way.
Yeah.
In the feds?
Man, they had a salad bar with rice and beans on it every day.
No.
Every day.
That shit ain't like that now.
You could get rice and beans. You could get as much as you want. You could go get seconds.
That shit was sweet.
It was sweet.
So
man.
when did that change then?
When they start bringing all the gangbangers in.
Yeah.
When the crack thing really hit hard, and they start bringing all the young brothers in, it started to change. You know, like if you was in a club, like the tennis club, they would allow them to raise money to throw a banquet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would have a banquet, and it would be all kind of food, and they could order food from the streets and all kind of stuff, man. It was
that shit is not like that no more.
Yeah. Well, it's been getting worse and worse. You know, every year it's been getting worse and worse.
I would say you get younger and younger dudes in there.
I was there for the first crack riot. I was there at the crack riot. I sat there and watched it.
How was that?
Crazy. Dudes running around with hoods on their head, and they burning and setting stuff on fire. I just sit on the grass and watched it.
You just sit on the grass and watch? Yeah, you could have got in there or something.
No, I didn't want to. I was on my way home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying, niggas don't be trying to fuck up when they're on their way home.
I didn't want to fuck up, and I wasn't on my way home. I didn't want no parts of it.
Yeah.
You know.
You ever got rolled up?
Yeah, many times.
What you got rolled up for?
Conducting business.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I wouldn't do.
Oh hell.
They got me for talking on the phone. I was setting up a video shoot for might have been Domino.
And you were setting up a video shoot?
Mm-hmm.
You got in trouble for that?
Yeah.
For setting up a video shoot?
Yes. It's illegal to do business in the federal pen.
Bro, that's petty though, man. That's petty.
Super petty.
That's petty.
But they take your phone. They lose your phone for 90 days, 6 months. They threaten to take my mail.
Petty. That's petty. That's petty.
Yeah.
Conducting a business, that's petty. You get rolled over there, that's petty. That's petty. I don't know.
What's one of the low shots? But it can stop you.
But still, though.
It can stop you from transferring, to another pen.
What you were trying to get to a low?
Texarkana was a low. I got to a low finally at Texarkana.
Yeah.
I did my last 5 years. I wanted to go to a camp. They said they was having sex at them camps. I was trying to get there.
Man, nobody was gonna do nothing with you at the camp, man.
Who knows? Who knows what would happen?
You gonna take that chance?
Yeah, I want to see.
No, I was like, man, that was up though. You got to the low, but you didn't do that much time though, did you? How much time you did?
20 years.
Oh hell yeah, you did.
With 2 bits.
Hell yeah, you
I stayed
did.
out 6 months in between 2 bits.
How the fuck you stay out 6 months?
Dude set me up as soon as I got out.
That was the supplier.
As soon as I got out, he set me up. The day I come home, he got on the phone calling me. I got 700 kilos, 16,000 a kilo. That was a good price too. It was like, kilos was like 21,000 at that time. I was like,
16,700. That's a lot of weight.
A lot of money.
But
But like 3.5 million profit. It would have been if I'd have worked the whole 700.
Yeah. So did you? Or after your first bid, when you came home in 6 months, did you have some money? You had some money.
I had a few pieces of property.
Yeah.
I still had my theater.
Okay.
What else I had? I just had a few pieces of property. I didn't have much left.
So how did they base the show Snowfall off you then?
Oh, well, me and John Singleton was hanging out, and when I got home.
Yeah.
This time, and well, I met him the first time when I came home, and we were talking about him directing my movie because I wrote a movie script too when I was in prison.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wrote a movie script. I wrote the book while I was in prison. I did a movie script, and I thought John, since he was from South Central, would be the perfect person to direct my movie. So so I went after him, and we were talking about him coming on board doing it, and then we look up and he was doing Snowfall.
So this is like in the midst of Snowfall, like in the.
Nah, Snowfall. It wasn't even out then. They wasn't even.
Nobody didn't know about it yet.
No, nobody didn't know about it. Just the close people that was
like around him and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something here. If you go to John Page, you can see this picture.
What, on IG?
Yeah, it's on his IG. I mean, John was kicking it. He went to my documentary screening with me. Me and him went together, and that's how he got my book. Because when the day of the screening was the same day that they sent me my demo books.
I'm on his page now.
Yeah, let me see if you see this picture. I got so many pictures and stuff. It'd be hard for me to find.
Snowfall was a good fucking show though.
Was it?
Hell yeah.
No, I didn't really care for it.
What you ain't like about it?
Well, a lot of fluff.
I mean, that motherfucker, man.
You like to be lied to. That's why people who like the rappers' music. I mean, like they like to be lied to.
They don't care if they telling the truth or not.
No,
they just want to. It's entertainment, man.
Who wants to be entertained? Who want to be entertained?
That's with music and everything. Social media.
I want some money. I don't want to be
I
entertained.
ain't lying. Everybody ain't like that though.
Here you go. Look at this here. Read the comment. Read his little post. You can read it out loud so everybody can hear.
Yeah, you're gonna put me on the spot like that.
You can't read?
Yeah, I can read.
Read it out loud. Then I want to see if you can read.
God, let me proofread it first. The real Freeway Ricky Ross. Over 20 years ago, I had breakfast with this man I had heard about as a kid. He was a hero to us all in the hood because he made it in the game that no one had ever done it. His story is incredible. Snowfall is coming. Power, love, respect. Watch out, y'all. Stay tuned. This was in 15.
So, people be thinking I be lying. And,
Yeah.
that say something right there.
People be think you be lying though. I would have never thought you was
I
lying.
don't care if they do or not.
I would never thought you was lying. Cause you got a name, like people know you. So it's like
But people with names lie.
yeah, but lie about shit they can hide though. Like you had a show. Why you didn't like the show?
No, I don't know.
You ain't fuck with the show at all.
I watched it with Dave Mays. Dave Mays, the guy who started the Source. He started a podcast after the snow, so he hired me to come on there and do. That's the only way I would watch it. And he was paying me to to do the show with him.
That's the only way you'll watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it no fun. I mean, wow. It's like I want to do shows.
You want to?
Yeah, I want to do shows.
Okay.
So how can I do shows and I'm watching other people's shows?
You still can watch somebody else's show.
I don't think so. I think that you will become, your mind will become entangled with what they doing instead of what you got to do.
Okay, so you don't watch no shows at
I
all.
don't watch TV.
You don't watch TV
I
at
don't
all.
have no TV in my house.
You got no TV in your house?
No. I watch the news when I'm out of town in a
Yeah.
hotel room, and I get to watch CNN. Like that's like the biggest TV excitement for
Okay,
me.
so other than tennis and working out, what you gonna do in your spare time? So what you do at home?
Make money. Like right now, I just come from working on cars.
You been working on cars?
Yeah, I was working on cars today. I just finished like 30 minutes before I got here. It took me a 30-minute drive. I was working on cars. I had a car that I want to get finished right now.
Dang, I'm hauling you up on fixing your car, man.
I'm going to sell it for $40,000. So
you finna sell it for 40?
yeah,
Oh, you just be hustling.
I just like hustling, and then I don't spend the damn money.
Yeah.
I don't know where my money go.
You gotta know where your money go, man.
I don't know where it goes.
You gotta know where your money go.
I don't know.
Man, this whole time
But I keep throwing it out there. I play this crazy game, right?
What?
You know how you go fishing?
Yeah.
I have to use that as a scenario. And you throw your hook out. You got a worm. You throw your hook out, and you catch a little bitty fish. He eats your worm.
Okay.
Then you have to take the little fish and put him on the hook. Okay,
For
you
the
want to
big
eat my
fish.
worm? I'm going to throw you back out. And that's what I do with money. I keep throwing the money out. Feeding everybody else so they can eat.
Okay. Okay. So you spending money to make more money.
That's what I do.
You
That's my
spend money to
problem.
make money.
Yeah, that's my
I
problem.
mean, you investing in.
That's what
you
I
an
do.
investor.
I'm an investor.
You a big investor. But man, I'm still mad about the Snowfall shit, man. Come on here watching this show, man. I'm thinking you like the show.
No, I don't like that show. I think it's corny. I think that that they'll never tell a real black drug movie story, because if they do, people will get a different perception of what a black drug dealer is. I mean, why they don't let a real drug dealer tell a drug story?
It'd probably be too cutthroat. It'd probably be like people. Let me see. I don't know. I think people. They
Ain't nobody's story out there bigger than mine.
Nobody. I already know.
Time magazine said in '96 I was the most talked about person in the country. I was bigger than Drake. I was bigger than Jay-Z. I was bigger than Puff Daddy, Obama, all of them.
That's big.
Esquire magazine, 80th anniversary, said my story was the biggest story in the last 80 years.
That's big. So okay, so with your
And these
story
are all
that's so
facts.
big,
Facts. You go to Esquire magazine, 80th anniversary. Obama's on the cover. I'm in the center. They talked about getting me the cover at first. We was talking about the cover, and then they wind up putting about 50 people on the cover.
Yeah.
And I wasn't one of them, but In the center of that magazine, I got 13 pages. Obama got 2.5, I think.
You got 13.
I got 13.
What, they telling your life story right now?
Yep. Yep.
Damn. So, okay, at this point, you feeling like you need to do your own show, right?
I do.
Why won't you go in and do it?
I got to get the money.
Yeah, you can get the
That's
money.
why I
You
keep
be
throwing
hustling.
That's why I keep throwing the money out there. So it
I
can,
would say you'll get that in no time.
nah, they don't really like it, man. When I went and dealt with Ori Emanuel and those guys, Spencer Boomer, Jeff Bird, Michael Linton, they want to buy my story, but they don't want me to be a part of it.
How that work?
That's what I want to know.
So so like people can buy your story
Sell your rights.
and just be like, go ahead on.
We gonna write the
money.
story.
How that work? Cause I ain't a star, so I don't know how the fuck that work. Somebody can buy your story.
They could buy your story right now. They could buy your story, right? They come to you and say, "Okay, we're gonna give you $200,000 for your story," and you say, "$200,000? Yeah, my story ain't worth nothing. I'll sell it to you for $200,000," and then they write your story. Then you could be gay.
Damn. Well, at least they ain't put you gay on there.
You could be a killer.
But it's your story.
You ain't got no love for nobody. You wind up broke and drunk at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
They don't
Okay,
want to
you
tell
got
no
a
story
point.
about you go to jail.
Yeah, okay.
You outsmart all the prosecutors. You couldn't read and couldn't write, but you wind up outsmarting the prosecutor, all the DEA agents, and all of them. You beat all of them in court. Because when I went to court, it said United States government versus Ricky Ross. And it just so happened that my cell used to be over the harbor,
Okay.
where all the aircraft carriers was at. And I used to look out my window because it was a little bitty window, about 6-8 inches and about 2 feet high, with long straight window. And I'd be looking out that window, just sitting in the window, just looking out, because I'm in the cell by myself. I ain't got nothing else to do.
You ain't had no celly?
For a lot of times I didn't, because I was on the floor, and it was. Sometimes I'd be the only black on the floor, all Mexicans.
Yeah.
Because we was on the border,
Okay.
right on the border. So when they catch them coming across the border, they fill them up. And then the Mexicans would run all the blacks off the floor.
Okay.
Sometimes they would, mob. It would be a mob, 6 blacks and 200 Mexicans, it's a massacre.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I would be there, and I'd just be sitting there looking out my window, and I'm looking at these aircraft carriers, and I'm like, wow, they sending that stuff over there to get Saddam Hussein. And I'm saying, if I would have been able to be strong enough, they would have sent all them ships to get me, because you fighting the United States government. And if you fight the United States government, all of that stuff is at their disposal.
Yeah.
So for me to win and find my own issue that got me out of prison, I found my issue that got me out. My lawyer get on TV, he'll say he did it, but that's what he supposed to say so he can get his money. But I found the issue that got me out of prison. Everybody said I was wrong. The judge, they said I was wrong in court. The judge said I was wrong. My lawyer said I was wrong, and the prosecutor, they all said I was wrong. But the appeals court agreed with me, my scenario. So I just got to keep hustling. I keep throwing that money out, and I'm going to catch me a whale sooner or later.
Yeah, you will.
Right now, I'm at the turkey. You don't know who Turkey is.
No, I think I done heard of turkey.
You ain't heard of Turkey.
You gonna catch that? I know you gonna catch that motherfucking whale though.
You know who Turkey is?
I done heard of turkey, but not.
Who is
not
he?
Like,
Who is
not
he?
Like that.
Who
Not
is
like
he?
that.
Who is Turkey?
Tell me who.
What do he
Turkey
do?
is.
I'm asking you first. I asked a question. You gonna ask me a question?
Hold on,
What a
turkey
question?
from here?
Nope. He's not from the United States.
Hold on, who the fuck? What turkey you
He's
talking
from
about?
Saudi Arabia.
No, I don't know that turkey.
He's the minister. He's the minister of entertainment for Saudi Arabia.
No.
Yeah, he over here giving out all that money.
How much money you giving out?
They gave Dana White $2 billion
What the fuck you gotta do
for
to get
boxing.
money? Shit, I can box.
He gave Tyson Fury and Usyk $700 million. So when he find out what I can do with boxing,
Shit, we need to go see Buddy now.
I'm trying to get to him. I can't get to him.
said,
I'm throwing out that money. Who can introduce me to him? I got 10,000.
Yeah.
I got 20,000. If you introduce me to Turkey, I'll give you 20,000. I'll give somebody 20,000 right now if they could introduce me to Turkey right now today.
I'll find his ass today.
You got 20,000 coming. I'm gonna bust it off to you.
I'll find his ass.
Find him.
Hey, said we gonna go together.
Find him.
So what you doing with the boxing game?
I got some bad youngsters.
How many you got?
I got about 7 to 8 fighters, 6 maybe.
What
right
age?
now.
What age group?
Well, I just signed 2 19-year-olds. They just turned 9. I signed them when they was 18. They just turned 19. Raleigh Bourne out of New York, and Shy Money out of North Carolina. Then I got Jason Moreno out of New Jersey. Who else we got? This other kid out of Cincinnati. What's his name? Lava.
You got anybody about 30, 28, 25?
Age don't mean nothing in boxing.
I would say I'll beat their ass
Anthony
right now.
Peterson. I got Anthony Peterson out of D.C.
I'll beat everybody's ass about right now. What they at?
That boxing tough business, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna get my ass beat.
Yeah, you got to fight heavyweights. You got to fight dudes 6'7" and shit.
Oh hell, why I gotta do that?
Cause you weigh 200-something pounds.
Yeah, I'm out there.
I know.
I ain't finna fight no motherfucker that's 6'7".
You don't have to fight it. He 300 pounds.
Oh no.
With arms long as from here to that light over there.
It's over with. I ain't finna get in there.
And you ain't gonna never see his head. Hey, he gonna jab you to death. Hey, he gonna be jabbing you to death. Your head gonna be.
It depends how much money you give me. I get in there now. It depends how much money now.
They're paying, but you gotta build your record up.
I ain't finna fight all them big ass motherfuckers, man. Just to give me no hell.
Yeah, so I'm looking for fighters now. I just look like I'm gonna get a deal with this company out of Houston called the Red Owl.
What type of fighters you look for though? What you look for in the fighters?
People with heart, people with determination that want to win, hard working.
Okay.
You gotta be tough with this boxing, man. This
You
boxing
definitely gotta be tough
business.
with that boxing.
One of the kids that I found, Kid Austin, he punked out a couple weeks ago. You know, he was supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson, Turkey fight. Turkey was giving him $1.2 million to fight or something like that, and he waited till the week before the fight and got sick, or faked sick.
How you know it was fake though? It probably wasn't fake, bro.
It might not have been fake. I said probably was fake.
You still supposed to go out there though for a meal?
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Sick or not, I'm going.
Especially when you broke.
I'm going.
Especially when you broke. You're supposed to go.
You
Get knocked out.
I'm already there.
And then the same thing happened to my fighter this week, Friday. His opponent come to the weigh-in, check in at the arena and everything, and then walk out the arena.
Man, what kind of fighters you got, man?
That ain't my fighter.
Oh.
My fighter better show up.
I was finna say, man, your fighter just walking out, man. I'll pull up now.
My fighter showed up.
Oh, okay.
We was ready to go.
So it was the other fighter that y'all was fighting.
He disappeared. Out. Yeah. I got I got guys finna be world champs. I'm finna take over.
have to look these motherfuckers up.
I'm finna take over boxing.
I hope you do. Cause you can.
Yeah. Well, you know, I study the game.
Yeah.
Just like I did in the car business, I studied Dirty Benny, and did the same thing in cocaine. I studied all the guys that were selling cocaine, and I come up with my own game plan until booyah.
Yeah. I think you can do it.
I
hope you can do it.
I know I'm gonna do it.
You gonna do it. Cause you go, man, if you take over the boxing game, there's so much money in fucking boxing.
Man, I told you just gave Dana White $2 billion. Do you know what my people can do with $2 billion? If I put $2 billion in South Central LA, the whole community change.
$2 billion.
$2 billion. Business is gonna flourish. It's gonna look like it used to be when we were selling cocaine. When we were selling cocaine, man, black guys was riding down, young black guys riding in Rolls Royces. You would see Ferraris all day long in LA.
Man, no.
Everybody had Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Testarossas, Porsches. It was like
the young black dudes?
Young black dudes, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old.
Y'all were getting some money. What kind of car you had?
Wasn't no gang banging. I don't need no car.
You ain't had no goddamn car.
I had a lot of cars, but not no Ferrari. I've never had a personal car.
Really?
Never have I in my life have I had a personal car. You know, a car that I say, this is my car.
Yeah.
I ain't selling this. No. When I drive a car, somebody else's. I'm just driving until they buy it.
Damn. I would have never thought you would have never had no car, man.
I don't care about
Especially
cars.
You told me.
I don't care about cars. I don't care about clothes.
Jewelry.
I don't care about none of that shit.
Just get money.
All that's.
It's an image.
It's makeup.
Yeah.
You know, it's costume. I never needed a costume because I'm gonna work hard.
And they already know who you is. Your name speak for itself.
What even they didn't know me? I didn't need no name.
You had to. Bro, you gonna get that name.
I just wanted the money.
But with that money, it come with all that other shit too. Now, like you said, the name, motherfuckers knowing you.
Yeah, well, you
talking
know,
about
you gotta work hard in the streets when you on the block. You gotta go hard.
And you never had a car,
Not
like your personal car.
Not a personal car, no.
I would say now, man, like motherfuckers touching that amount of money, man. You know how much shit they finna buy, how many cars they finna buy, houses.
Well, those are police traps.
Yeah, definitely. But
and then I look at it like this here, right? With the police planting drugs on you, they catch you driving a nice car. Oh, he had a kilo on him. Forfeit the car.
Yeah, it's over with.
It's over with. That car gone.
But people do a lot of shit for the internet now.
Yeah.
So they'll buy them cars even though they can't afford them.
Or rent them.
Yeah, they rent the shit out them cars, take a picture, of them, record they self driving the motherfuckers and everything.
And then we telling everybody, I made this. Do it credit.
Yeah. Fixing credit. Man, that's what the internet is, man. Internet full of lies. Social media full of lies. But they live for that shit though now, man. It's I don't know, man. It's crazy, man.
Women on there with all the makeup and the filters and the fake hair, and I used to sell hair too.
You sold hair?
When I first got out of prison, I sold hair. That's how I met me and Jay Worthy. That's how I met Jay Worthy. Me and him was selling hair. He was from Canada, and he was selling hair in Canada, and I was selling hair here, and we connected and became road dogs.
Dang, I didn't know he was selling hair.
That was before he blew up in the music business.
I was just gonna say that's a J Worthy that be rapping with G Worthy and.
No, that's him.
That's him.
Yep.
I listened to Buddy yesterday.
Jay Good.
I listened
Me
to
and him used to hustle together. We had $5 in our pocket. We had no money.
I like his music.
I'd be like, Jay, you ain't got no gas money today?
Dang, I ain't never know that. Yeah, I ain't know y'all was like y'all was cool, like y'all know each other.
We still cool. Like I just did some stuff for him the other day.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
I did some stuff gonna be on his next album.
I say I listen to him.
He said I'm gonna get some publishing. He said, man, I'm gonna help you get some publishing.
That's what's up.
I said, what's publishing?
That's big though. Either way it go, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm cool. That's my boy. So you know, anytime he need me, I'm there.
Man, I fuck with Jay Worthy.
If I called him, he gonna come.
Yeah.
You know, like when I opened my dispensary, he was one of the only dudes that was famous that came out. All the dudes, the Mike Epps. I used to fuck with Mike Epps. When I first met Mike Epps, that motherfucker got on his knees.
For real?
Got on his knees like this here, like.
Oh, I was just gonna say, what the fuck he did?
Not like that. Not like that. No.
No, I know it ain't.
He just got on and you know was showing the homage, and then me and him ran together every day, and just all of a sudden, you know.
I would say, so what happened with that? With Mike?
He said I always try to get work out of him. Cause I was telling him some smart shit, you know, like, hey Mike, cause when we was together, he always talking about, man, I hope Cube do a movie, man. I'm waiting on Cube to do a movie. I was like, motherfucker, you make enough money, why don't you just start shooting these low budget movies? Cause I couldn't understand, like, how could a person be more famous than Tyler Perry at one time, but Tyler Perry become a billionaire and do whatever movie he wants to do anytime he wants to do it.
I say you got to think about it. They go with the low budget movies because Tyler Perry had started with the plays, then it was like low budget and like but it just got better as time.
You get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
How do you let a guy like that pass you?
You ain't grinding then.
You ain't grinding. So I was telling Mike, like, Mike, why don't you direct your own movies? Why don't you start doing your own writing your own scripts? And say I know people who write, so I was like, I can get people. I know Kwame Tigo. in prison right now. He wrote Dutch. He done wrote so many great books, and other people took credit for him. He called me all the time. Called me the other day. I spent money on his books and everything. That's my boy. He helped me edit my book.
I was just gonna say, is that the one help you with your books?
He one of them. Jimmy the Saint helped me. About 5 people helped me with my book. Because I'm the kind of person, right? Multiplication. I believe in multiplication. The more the better.
Yeah.
Take less and make more.
Yeah.
And I use that formula with pretty much everything. So I had a lot of people help me with my book.
Okay.
But Kwame definitely was one of the guys who helped me and did a lot for me. There's other guys that helped me that I can't even remember their name right now. Because I used to have guys typing and shit. Like, man, type these pages.
They type them up.
I'm going to give you a bag of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a bag of Doritos and some bean dip.
At least you gave him the good coffee, goddamn. Taste of choice or something.
I give him that
You give him the keefy?
I give him the keefy sometimes.
All right.
Some be low budget. They can't stand Taste of Choice.
For real?
They didn't like Taste of Choice.
They like the keefy.
I'm glad you don't like Taste of Choice. Costs $12. The keefy costs $3. Good. I'm glad you like this keefy. But when you see these guys and they allow people like that. See, I don't like nobody passing me. If you in front of me, I'm trying to catch you, and I ain't gonna let this guy behind me, catch up to me and pass me.
And I'm just like at a standstill, like, cause this dude didn't went so far. He grinded.
Like right now, I'm finna start shooting low budget movies myself.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it when I got out of prison. I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
Remember I told you, me and Jay Worthy didn't have $5. So my money building up now.
Yeah.
I'm finna buy my cameras. Start my own streaming channel. For boxing, I'm starting it for the boxing. I'm gonna put my guys on there.
Okay.
And the other thing that I help guys get so far in the industry, and then when they get to a certain level, they run off. They do that bitch shit and don't want you around.
I don't like that.
No, that's bitch shit.
I don't like that.
So now what I'm doing is I got my contracts tight.
Okay.
My contracts is tight now, and I'm back doing music again. I'm finna do some music. I'm gonna start shooting the low budget movies. I'm finna buy my own cameras.
The cameras, this was high.
You can get used when it's cheap.
What you gonna buy? What you gonna be? I need some. What you gonna get used for?
I'll talk to you.
I bet. Cause them cameras, man.
But the big companies, they sell their cameras every year.
Because they get some newer cameras.
They get the new cameras, so they sell their old ones. So I'm buying me some used ones. I ain't buying I don't need brand new cameras.
Okay.
Cause of the shit I'm gonna be doing, it's gonna be. They gonna see me. I'm gonna be working out. They see me how I get fit. I got trainers. I got my own trainers now. That's working me out. They'll see me working on cars. They'll see how I flip cars. I'm gonna show them how I really flip. Cause I really flip cars.
Yeah. And now you really flip cars.
Well, I learned how to do it from back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be showing how I flip cars.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go into flipping houses. And they just get to see my everyday life. They get to see how I took over the weed business.
So you're going to do like some vlogging type stuff?
Yeah, all day long. I'm going to have cameras all day long on me. Just because I look at it like, what if I would have had cameras on me back when I was in the dope game? How much would that footage be worth right now?
Man, what? Man, that shit'll be... Man, I can't even put no price on it.
Yeah.
Because back then...
And then Instagram and them they all got me with shadow ban. I'm shadow banned on Instagram.
Really?
I know I'm way bigger than Instagram say I am. I'm bigger than... With Twitter, I had 600,000 on Twitter 10 years ago. I was at 600,000 on Twitter. They hacked my page, and they took my Twitter away. My Twitter probably would be 2 million. Probably would be my strongest page.
More than that. Because
I was doing Twitter before Instagram. I wouldn't do Instagram at first. I was like, Instagram, I ain't doing that new shit. I'm going to stay with Twitter. But anyway, they all got me shadow banned.
How many followers you got on Instagram?
433,000.
Yeah, you supposed to have more than that.
Yeah, when I did Joe Rogan, we did 1.6 million in a week. I did a thing with Travis, the comedian. Me and him did it. Travis, he's a comedian. So look, it was just a little stunt we did.
Okay.
Travis came up with the idea. So I'm at a restaurant, I'm like I'm ordering food, right? They should have knew it was a stunt. I'm at a chicken joint ordering food. Okay. So all my friends knew right off the bat I'm vegan.
Yeah.
So they knew. So Travis is sitting here on the side of me, and he on the phone, and he arguing with somebody, and then all of a sudden he said, "Yeah, my Uncle Freeway right here. If you want drama, come on with the drama." And that thing did 3 million views in like a week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's viral.
I done been viral so many times. I mean, I got so many viral moments. The day I'm telling you with the thing with the rapper.
Yeah.
When my boxer say, "That's my manager right there, Rick Ross," that go viral. The rapper is on me for a week straight. He cussing me out. "Fuck you, snitch."
For real?
Yeah, and they they creamed him online. They creamed him.
It was that deep.
How you using a snitch's name?
Yeah, like what the fuck? That make sense.
I didn't even comment because I already know. Every time he say something to me, he almost can't say nothing to me because the internet kills him.
Cause he got your name.
But Instagram still won't allow my followers to build up.
They hang on you, man.
Yeah, they hate
Instagram hang.
But they can't stop me.
No, they can't.
I'm almost there now.
Nobody can stop you.
Nobody can stop me.
Nobody can stop you. You gonna keep.
Only way they can stop me is abort me.
No, they ain't even finna stop you for real.
Cause they don't know. They don't even know. See, they don't even know how big I am yet. When I go to these guys' office, right? I'm in Ori Manuel's office, right? Mm-hmm. You know who Ori Manuel is?
He big in the movie game, man.
He is the founder of William Morris Endeavor, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood.
Hey, you in his
He don't even know why I'm in his office. He think I'm there trying to sell my movie. He don't know. I just went up there with Mark Wahlberg to be respectful, because Mark invited me. Like say for instance, if you invite me somewhere,
yeah,
and I fuck with you, you say, "Man, come go with me over here."
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with you, homie.
Yeah.
So I go there, and they think I'm trying to sell my movie. I'm like, I might sell it.
Yeah.
We could talk about that. That ain't really what I came here to talk about. You got a classic car.
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't gonna sell that motherfucker.
I ain't really trying to sell that thing, man. I got a whole lot in that thing. Like, you can't even see
what I really got in here.
You can't see what I got in here.
But we can entertain it a little bit.
The hood, the motor.
Yeah.
The motor, such and such build that motor, and he don't even build motors no more, and
yeah.
You just don't know what I got in here.
A classic.
So if you want to talk about it, I mean, if that's just what you want to talk about,
we can talk about it.
We can talk about it.
But ain't no interest.
But if you want to talk about pigeons, we can talk about pigeons or whatever, because I just came here to be respectful.
Yeah.
You fed me too,
Yeah.
My plate a little empty, I'm homeless right now.
Okay.
Y'all don't know I'm homeless, but I'm homeless.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in a vacant house. But I ain't gonna tell you that.
Yeah, of course.
But I ain't trying to sell my car.
Yeah.
Not that.
I feel you.
I'll sell a whole lot, but I don't really want to sell that car.
Yeah.
So they make me an offer.
They made the offer.
$650,000 and walk away. So I'm like, the 600 sounds sweet.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
The walking away is kind of tough.
When you say walking away, you mean just 650? Okay, this is your 650.
So I say, let me tell you what I said.
Okay.
I said, okay. Can I have a soundtrack?
Okay.
Oh, no, you can't have a soundtrack. Was, Universal is going to want the soundtrack. And I said, can I get a song on the soundtrack? Well, we can discuss that later, but it won't be in the contract.
That's a no. That means no.
I said, you know what? We're going to talk about this later, at a later date, because I'm tired of this conversation.
Yeah.
Can I leave now?
They didn't like that. I know they ain't like that.
Yeah, so Mark say, he said he like you. You got a lot of nuts, but you ain't going to never get your movie done.
He like you. You got a lot of nuts, but you ain't going to never get your movie done.
Yep, that's what he's saying. He said something like, he think them basketball dribblers and them football catchers and all them gonna help him. He said they ain't gonna help him. I thought he was wrong.
You think he right?
He was right.
Why you say that?
Because they ain't help me.
Man, you don't need the motherfucker to help you, man. Somebody gonna
I don't need no help, but they could have helped.
Everybody don't hear the same interest. They some people heart don't be right, man. Some people just don't be right.
But so he was right. You asked me a
for that
question.
particular group of people.
The question you asked me, was he right? And I'm telling you, yes, he was right.
I don't want to believe that.
I mean, look at the scenario.
I don't want.
I'm gonna get the movie done.
You definitely gonna get the movie,
but
done.
I'm gonna be doing it myself.
After you do it yourself, I bet them motherfuckers come and try to help.
Oh, I'm gonna break the bank.
Yeah, they're gonna try to come help.
My movie is gonna be bigger than any movie that ever came out, and I'm seeing it every single day.
That's what's
That's
up.
why I grind these streets.
Yeah.
Feeding the big fish.
Do people know you got a movie coming out?
They don't know. They don't. Some people, they waiting on it. You know, they waiting on it. We just hired the director. We got Michael Ho as the director. I love Mike too. Young kid, Korean descent.
You serious? You for real?
Oh yes, movie gonna be crazy.
When you gonna start shooting?
Right now we trying to get Childish Gambino right now. I think
Dude can act like a motherfucker.
I think Childish would kill Rick Ross. I think
He's a
would
motherfucker. He hell.
I think he would kill Rick Ross, and then with him and me together. Could you imagine me and him traveling around the country, going to schools? Like I just did. I was in Detroit 3-4 weeks ago. I did like 4 high schools.
Yeah.
You know, when spoke to the kids. So all them kids became my fans or friends.
Yeah.
Either one you want to call it.
Both. I say both. They gonna support you.
So I just keep planting the seeds, and you know.
But you doing it right though, and you got the mindset, man, and you hustling. You gonna get it done.
And I don't need nothing. That's the cold thing. I don't like their clothes. I don't like their cars. I don't like their shoes. You know, I don't want to go see their movies. I don't like their TV shows. I'm just a different dude. I'm weird.
No, you ain't weird. You just in your own lane. That's all it is. But man, you gonna get it done. Hey man, if you need a little extra or something, man, you need somebody to play something, man, let me know now.
We're gonna have casting call.
It's gonna be up here?
I'm probably doing it in like 3 states.
All right, let me know something. And I got you.
I got you.
I'm gonna be there. Just give me a chance. I ain't saying put me in the movie now. I'm gonna come to the casting then.
All right, that's how you do it. Earn it. Earn your spot.
Yeah, earn it. I'm definitely gonna earn it.
Yeah.
And when I get that motherfucker, I'm be like, I told you, no.
Throw the bait out there.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know, you gotta always go fishing with bait. Can you imagine somebody going fishing with just a hook?
They won't catch shit.
If you catch that fish, you don't eat
you
it.
a motherfucker.
Don't eat that fish. Something was wrong with that crazy motherfucker.
That motherfucker attracted to a hook. Just a hook. Ain't no way. You can't bite on that.
No, whenever you go fishing, always take some bait with you.
Yeah. But I'm definitely gonna come. You think I'm lying?
Where you from? I don't even know where you from.
Alabama.
You from what part?
Like Birmingham area.
Birmingham. Yeah.
So yeah, like
I've been to Birmingham before. I did a little restaurant there. It's a little restaurant there. I can't even. Miss May, I think is her name. She got a little restaurant. She couldn't cook vegan food though.
You gotta think about it, man.
I said, Miss May, y'all invite me down here. Y'all don't even cook no vegan food. Y'all got me doing a book sign. I'm in Montgomery. Ain't nobody got no vegan food. I'm out of here.
But you got mad and left because they had no vegan food?
I did it. I said,
Okay.
We did that.
But you gotta think about it, man. You don't find nobody like cooking vegan like that. You really don't.
If they want to be healthy, they better start eating vegan.
Damn, that vegan, that's tough, man.
It's tough, but
it's tough. I seen them little arms when you came in.
Yeah, you want to be fit, man. You want to be able to work on the car.
That vegan tough. So what you eating on the daily? How can you make vegan food?
Well, I be going to this little vegan restaurant in L.A. This is where I eat at most of the time. It's probably the cleanest restaurant.
It's high?
No, it's really cheap. Because, I eat out every day. I don't cook.
You don't cook now?
I don't cook nothing.
How you eat out every day?
Every day I eat out.
That's how I know you got money. You got money. That shit add up.
I make a little money. I ain't where I can't put $5 worth of gas in the car no more. I ain't calling Jay talking about, Jay, you got $5 for gas today? Jay ain't either. Jay doing real good for himself, man.
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but like I said, I listen to his music.
Nah, he doing well for himself, man. I'm proud of Jay, man. He just produced DJ Quick's album. Who else album he told me he produced? he did like 2 or 3 people album. His sound is so unique that they got him producing like legends. I was like, man, you produce DJ Quick?
It is.
So it's just amazing, and I know that a lot of the stuff that he's doing, he learned from that time that he was hanging out with me those couple years that we ran around the streets together, selling T-shirts and books and the whole 9 yards. I go to his show, right? He have a show out here a couple weeks ago, and I surprised him. Somebody called me, man, Jay performing tonight, so I pop up.
Yeah.
He got a table selling T-shirts after his show. He's like, man, I'm selling my own merch now.
Oh, Jay Word, man.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. But
I love his music.
We gonna keep pushing, man.
Of course.
I appreciate your time too, man.
Man, nah, you the superstar. I appreciate your time.
Well, your time is valuable too.
Man, both our time valuable.
We gotta
get it done.
Everybody gotta respect each other. If we start respecting each other, the world would be a better place.
It'll definitely be a better place, but everybody don't be on the same page though.
No, they don't.
Everybody be on the same page. You gonna find people that's on the same page and looking situations the way you look at it. You gonna find some that don't. It is what it is.
But we gotta set a new tone.
Yeah.
We gotta change the old mindset. The dog eat dog.
But you gotta
mentality.
want to change that mindset.
Well, somebody gotta set the tone. We can't have like Puff Daddy and then they get some money and they want to treat everybody like they shit.
Yeah. Puff Daddy, he going through a lot right now. He going through a lot. All that baby oil and shit.
I'm gonna catch up to him. They got baby oil in the pen though. No, you can get baby oil in the pen.
With the way baby oil is right there, I don't even want no baby oil in the pen. I don't want to see baby oil at all. They just like, bruh. That's a lot of goddamn baby oil.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't even talk about no baby oil, man. But it's gonna have to be people's mindsets.
Yeah, we gonna change their mindset. We're gonna let them know that you can be a good guy and still win.
You definitely.
And you ain't gotta be in there.
Yeah.
Or taking it in the rear.
Damn. It's a lot of that shit going on in prison.
I hear. No, not in prison. Only ones in prison that do that, they was already gay. I'm talking about the ones.
You think the ones that do it in prison already gay?
Yeah, most of them they got gay tendencies.
So can you be gay and be straight after that?
No.
That's what I said.
Not in my book. Once you
you gay, it's over with.
Yeah, you can't go back.
You can't go back. Well, we gonna get this shit done, and
so by my time to eat today.
What time you eat?
My time I go eat about right now.
All right, just stay away from that motherfucking baby oil.
No,
if anybody offer you something, they got some baby oil sitting right there. Don't go. Don't take that shit. But man, I really appreciate you coming through though, man.
Man, I appreciate you inviting me. Had to take the time out to come all the way from Alabama, come to LA to sit down with me.
Bro, I'm a fan.
I appreciate it.
I'm a fan for Alabama.
When I come to Alabama, I'm gonna look you up.
I bet. And when you do that casting now, you gotta do that now.
I got you.
I'm pulling up.
Can you play a Crip or a Blood?
Yeah, I can.
Let me see your Crip act.
Man, right now?
No.
I can do it. I'm
gonna give you some time to rehearse.
Man, I can do it.
Cause we're gonna have a lot of Crips and Bloods in there.
I mean, I can do it.
All right.
They put like that, I can do it.
All
Whenever I see it or I hit you up or whatever and I see where it's at, I'm pulling up.
Well, I'm gonna be having on my Instagram, Freeway Ricky on Instagram, Freeway Rick Ross on Facebook, and on Twitter, I'm Freeway Rick. So I'm gonna be posting on all those when I get ready to start doing casting, because I want to open it up to some new talent.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go like, you got to be a star. And
the traditional way.
My movie gonna carry itself.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino, that's the only star I really need. After that,
he can do it.
I know the producers probably say, man, don't be saying that. But I don't let them tell me what to do either.
It's your shit.
It's my shit.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of it.
And do what you want to do with your shit.
Yeah, there you go.
And
it's my car. It's my car. I built it.
Yeah. And that motherfucker gonna be a fast car.
And if it blow the motor, it's mine.
Yeah. And you always can rebuild that motherfucker too.
If it do 1,000 miles an hour, it's mine.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for it, man. But we already friends on Instagram, so I'll be seeing it.
All right.
I'll be seeing it. I appreciate it, man. That's what's up, man. I like.
Tripping with Ty, that's the podcast. Where we having real conversations that make you laugh. Pour it up on the red cup just to relax. Give me some feedback, like, comment, interact. Still
He said you regret it,
hit the button right side, yeah, go ahead and subscribe. And when you come up on the show, yeah, make sure you fly. I came a long, long way, barrel so dry. Tripping with Ty.
This is me, man.
Now this the podcast. Baby, when you see the breeze, you know what I'm saying. I hope you understand. We missing for way back in school. You better ask my class.